I'm testing two of my cameras to compare the quality. The one camera has been my favorite for years, which is the Sony HDR 700, which is a more expensive camera, but I'm also testing this newer camera, which I've been liking, which is called the Sony HDR CX405. Alright, so I'm going to try to film roughly the same shots here so we can test quality and sunlight. Okay, let's try zooming in. So I can really go far with the 405. So let's not go quite that far. This one also can go quite far. Whoops. So let's back that out a bit. So we're basically looking at the house in both shots. Okay. Do we like one better than the other? I won't be able to test this until I go back and watch it back. It's quite sunny here, so we'll see what we think about that. Okay, I'm going to zoom back out again, and I'm going to try to point the cameras together at a few different things. Okay, so let's see what we got here. So let's look over here. We got trees, front door. Look at our cars. The sunlight's kind of blaring right at us here. So let's turn around so we're away from the sun. And we'll look. Details of our garage doors here. So far I'm liking the screen better on the 405, it just seems sharper, but maybe it's unfair because it's a much newer camera, whereas the other one I've had for years, so maybe it just needs a cleaning. Okay, very interesting to test these. Here, let's look at a person.
Hi, I'm a person.
See how she looks on these two cameras we're comparing. Okay, now we're testing the two cameras inside. And it's interesting, now on the inside, I think that the 700 looks sharper on my screen. Finding that maybe it's better in darker lights, but we're going to do some tests here. So let's go zoom in a little bit. We'll zoom in on the drums, see how they look. Okay, so we've zoomed in on the 700, now we're zooming in on the 405. Now I feel like it's giving me more light. Zoomed in. Okay, let's zoom back out. Okay, so the 405 is actually brighter overall, but I feel like the 700 is sharper. And you can make a decision comparing these as well. Okay, let's turn on further light and just see what that does indoors. So I've got a really big bright light here I'm going to turn on. And that changes things a lot. Again, I find the 700 still looks sharper. Now they're a little closer for brightness. I feel like the 700 looks more actual white for the grand piano than the 405. I feel like it's a little more, I don't know, duller or yellower maybe? I'm not sure. Just a bit darker anyway. Alright, what other test can we do? We'll zoom in on the piano and see if we notice anything. Okay, so that's the 40, oh no, that's the 700 I zoomed in. Now we're zooming in on the 405 to the same shot. this time I feel like the 700 is a little more bluey colored. Blue tint. Not sure if you can see that. Interesting. Okay, what else can we look at here? Just for comparison's sake, let's look at detail. So I'm going to go look over at my computer here. We'll zoom in on that. I'm going to turn this big light off again, make it more dark, see how much light and focus we get staring in at my computer. Okay, so that's the 700, so not a lot of light. We're looking into blackness. Now with the 405 looking in, I feel like maybe, still doesn't look as sharp to me on the screen at least, but I'd say it's fairly similar in terms of how much light I got. Okay, interesting. What else can we look at here? Let's look at really dark. How much light can these cameras bring in? So the 700, where do I notice difference? Well, actually I think they're fairly comparable. Again, I feel like the screen on the 700 is a bit sharper. So that's what I'm mostly noticing with this camera. But light-wise, I think they're pretty constant. So that is interesting. Okay, I'll turn on the light and see if that changes anything for us. Looking at a lot of random items here. Yeah, still finding the 700 just to be sharper. But light-wise, I'd say that they're pretty constant. Let me know what your thoughts are comparing two great Sony cameras. The 700, so far I believe, is a sharper camera. It is twice the price. And so this is the question of which camera do you need?